Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love.
It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride. You've already paid. What's wrong?
You're real singy because of this Eurovision thing, and it's just loud. And I already had a migraine this morning, so I had to take a Sudafed, and you just re-triggered it.
I'm in love with the fairy tale.
You're overstimulated.
I
You
have
gotta get
Eurovision crazy.
You need to get fucked real, but not one man can do it. You need a team. You like on Eurovision. You need a country to fuck you. The whole country.
Allons enfants de la patrie.
No, not that nice shit. Moldova, we're looking at you. Just beat him down.
This is toe.
It's
toe. What I was saying is, it's like rain on your wedding day when your sister doesn't come.
What a fucking just asshole.
You know,
I hate her.
You know, it was kind of fitting that we didn't even see her the rest of the...
No, it was great. We don't know her, as Miss Carey says. I don't know her.
And I think it was interesting that the production didn't even really try to involve her.
No.
So you imagined how she probably was.
I bet she was terrible.
Awful. They didn't want to.
Yeah.
So, this is Toe, Season 4, Episode 15, Where There Is Love.
There is life.
There is life.
Where there is love, there is life.
Where there is Eurovision, there is life. And yes, I am losing my brain.
You are.
Now, sadly, those of you who are expecting me to talk about the Eurovision final in this episode,
he got very confused.
You're going to go
today.
cry in your beer or whatever you're drinking or your vodka soda.
Or your water.
We're
whatever.
recording this on Wednesday of this week. So it's only been the first semi-final episode, which I have watched and which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying whatever I say now won't matter.
You're so nervous because you kept confusing yourself. You're afraid you're going to say the wrong thing. So, Poodle, when are you going to be talking about Eurovision and the finale of it?
Thank you. We will be wrapping up Eurovision because I will not be doing it on this episode. I'll be talking a little bit about it. Where I'll be doing my final wrap up on our Below Deck episode that will air on Tuesday.
Good job.
Don't you patronize
No,
me.
I'm not patronizing. You got it.
So, mostly because that'll be a time for you to watch the finale. You've seen it. The winning country has celebrated, and Ireland's still crying.
Yes. And we're going to do it on Tuesday also because you're going to Cabo this weekend, so you won't be around.
I'm taking a little bit of a weekend off.
A weekend off, yeah.
Y'all, I predicted...
Maybe Mexico could fuck you into submission and calm you down.
I predicted it. Ireland submitted a saltine cracker again this year.
You did predict it.
Woo!
You don't like
Not
it.
good. I also need to say... There will be, if you go to our Instagram, you will see me detailing. You can go it was up on earlier this week.
Yes, you'll see Poodle being excited about Eurovision, and you'll see me being very confused.
And then you'll see me. There's a posting of me on Thursday talking about the Act 2 semifinal, or probably
Yes.
it probably be a Friday, and then I'll be talking about the whole thing. So you go to our Instagram for more updates if
And
you missed them,
TikTok.
and the TikTok, and then listen. If you don't normally listen to our Below Deck episode, I will be talking about my complete Eurovision wrap up
Yes.
of who won, who looked terrible. And what I thought of Hannah Waddington going bare-breasted with Alan Carr going, ooh, and staring
That
at
actually
her.
sounds like that would happen. It's not far-fetched. Not far. So Alan Carr's in it too?
No, I'm just making
Oh.
up shit.
It's Graham Norton's.
Hannah Waddington. Graham Norton's doing the finale.
And Hannah Waddington's in it.
Hannah Waddington's one of the hosts.
Yeah, because she's on last.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be...
I'm actually tired because of talking about Eurovision for a while.
You're going to be... Hopefully you can watch it when you're in Cabo. What if it's not available? What if the internet's not working? You'll have to call Kenny and Armando. Maybe you can watch... Don't they live by Cabo? I don't know where they live.
It's not just one big country.
No, but I
Mexico.
mean, it's on that same kind of
I'm
coast.
like, Armando, can I come over and watch Eurovision with y'all? Kenny's like, sure, come
Sure.
over.
Kenny would love it. Armando would... I don't know if Armando...
He'd probably
I
be
bet
painting.
Kenny gets into it.
Y'all,
Although he liked we love them.
y'all, some highlights already are Finland, Croatia doing cuckoo magoo shit.
Cuckoo.
I've already loved what I've seen. I can't wait. Those of you who are already saying, "Well, I already know what happened," we recorded this a little earlier,
Yeah,
so.
so.
But I'm very excited. See, the semifinal was really great.
B90 trailer. It's out, y'all. Gino and Jasmine are back.
Jasmine, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Gino, I don't want to come down. I hate you, Gino.
Jasmine,
I love you, Gino. I can't wait.
they're
All new people,
except for Gino and Jasmine. Yes,
except for Gino and Jasmine.
Yep.
We've got this cast. It doesn't show in the trailer, but if you read the cast, we've got a trans person.
Yeah.
We've got a lesbian couple. So we're gonna get
Yeah.
y'all. We ain't ending with Kris and Jeymi. We continuing on the lesbian drama train.
Yep.
We got
there's a hearing impaired person.
hearing impaired person. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
We called him Frankie too.
Yes,
So there's
and
somebody
there's
clearly
Tariq and
getting
Hazel, the sequel.
Yes, a Tarzal.
Yeah,
It's gonna be good.
yeah. It looks like there's already Frankie 2. It looks like is a Yolanda inspired catfish where there
Yeah.
was, they already found the woman. They already found the woman's escort page.
Yeah, they did find her escort page. Williams.
I do love a good catfish.
I do love it. We haven't really had one in a while, like a good one that's so obvious.
We didn't think Mahogany was real. Remember when Mahogany was real?
We did not. I can't believe that they're still together.
It's all for clout.
It's all terrible.
And then when Mahogany, when they went to her apartment and they were bunk beds.
and there were bunk beds. Yes,
That was such a weird story.
B90 gets weird, y'all. B90 gets
It's my
weird.
favorite.
It's a great time to jump in to 90 Day. We recommend that you watch. Also, speaking of watching, Selling Sunset Season 6.
Yeah,
This week.
it drops May 18th. All of our on Netflix it drops the 17th.
17th. Our
And
episodes drop
the
24 hours
18th.
later. We'll be dropping all the episodes that they drop, so that's going to be this week. We're very excited.
1 through 10. There'll probably be a reunion the following week, I believe.
Yes,
with
by
Tan
the-
France. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I got to say, next year, I think we could still go in May, but we probably won't. We won't have time, but maybe we could. I think we need to go to a Renaissance fair. Have you ever been to one? I've never been.
I dated a lot of people who worked there.
Well, I've never been. I think we should go. Maybe we could film some stuff. But guess what? Someone went to the Renaissance Fair and they said, "Oh, look at the map. They have a maypole at the Renaissance Fair. We could go in May and go do the maypole. That's worth going for
How
me."
about I let you go because I'm going to see too many exes.
Well, that's true.
I love a man in druid robes.
Ooh, I think I do too.
Yeah. It's a real problem.
I should go.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
He had me at Settlers of Catan.
Y'all, thank you for joining us for the Drag Defense Fund. The moment, it was very long. They raised over $500. They raised over $500,000.
Yeah.
That's
Good for them.
incredible. Moment themselves, or the company themselves, donated $200,000. So,
and y'all, our April by Curious is on. I'm pretty sure it was Indian matchmaking that was chosen at this point of this broadcast that you're hearing now.
it's much in the lead.
It has been in the lead.
Yes.
And Seema Auntie is back, and she is reading everyone as normal.
I'm excited to watch.
And telling everyone they're picky.
We'll let you know later in
Yeah.
advance what episode we are watching.
As one sissy put it, and I said, I'm stealing this. I need you to cover this because I have a feeling there's closetry afoot.
Oh, closetry. We don't know what episode we'll do, but
We're gonna see if there's some boys trying to stay in that closet.
boy,
Yeah, we're on the case.
We're
Let's
on the
just say
case.
that. I think that's it.
that's it. Ultimatum Queer Love.
Ultimatum Queer Love.
And that's it.
524.
Yep,
Y'all, if you've been finding something to scratch your Love is Blind itch,
it's ready.
it's gonna be ready for you.
It's gonna be ready.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do on part 1 for this episode. We're gonna talk about this finale and this final episode, and then on part 2 we will cover Tell All Part 1.
Yes.
So, and then we're going to remind you again that then for 2 weeks, someone said they're going to do 2-hour tell-alls. I don't know if I want to watch all this. And I went, you couldn't tear my eyes away.
I
with
watched
this
20
cast.
minutes of this one, and I need
Couldn't
to.
tear my eyes away.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Question.
talk about the outfits.
So technically, the season is over.
See.
It's all over, but the tell-alls and the crying.
Yep.
What'd you think? What's your verdict?
I really liked it. I still say this is probably one of the strongest seasons of Toe that we've had.
Totally agree. And I never say that. I hate everyone by the end.
Do hate everyone by the end, but I think if I think about it, I don't know. I'd have to look. This might be my favorite Toe season.
Did I like everyone? Absolutely not.
We're not supposed to, though.
Were there compelling stories that were complicated, and were there stories of that made me see the world and these people and love and relationships in different ways? Most certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After seeing the tell-all, well, whatever. I've already brought it up. Who do you think is going to be on 90 Day Fiancé of this cast?
Not Gabe and Isabel. I think they're going to stay there because of her kids and her family.
They already got married.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nicole and Miss Mood can really be on 90 Day Fiancé because they're actually married.
Oh, I was going to say them, but I don't know if they're. Yeah, because they're.
They might be on Happily Ever After.
They're going to do a spousal visa, but yeah. But I think they'll be. I think they could be on Happily Ever After, y'all. They're going to see Miss Mood react to America.
Oh, y'all, Miss Mood was flicking her licorice wrists around.
Yes,
She had a right fit. She was just on the ceiling.
Woo! What a feeling.
She was just calling out Miss God and everybody. I will need to say, I'm going to take a victory lap on Nicole about one thing she said on the tell-all.
Okay.
And I want to know how you feel about it.
All right, then.
I'm taking a victory lap.
Yeah, because you never do that. So let's talk about this. Let's jump in. Gabe and Isabel. This was very moving to me. This wedding, just to see the families there, to see how happy Isabel's parents were. And I agree with you. Thank God they didn't show anything of that wretched sister.
The only thing that kind of left me, I wanted to see a moment where Gabe said, it doesn't matter that she's not here. But instead, he said, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, oh, you're in the same patterns. Great.
I think Gabe maybe could get there one day, but he needs a lot more therapy. And also, though, you can not be completely, but there can be healing in a healthy relationship. and I think he is in a healthy relationship with Isabel. So I have hope for him down the road, but I could see him completely completely shutting his sister out of his life.
And not to do too much about the tell-all, boy was coming in with some bad takes. Like Big Ed bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like bad takes.
Yeah.
I think he also has realized he's got some fame in it.
Well, yeah, because he knows people like them, yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone... The show doesn't like people who really do that.
Again, we'll talk about the tell-all, but it's like they don't want them to be reality stars, but then they want them to act like reality stars on the tell-all. It makes no sense.
I don't know if
it's like the producers encourage it. They want them to have opinions and talk about other people.
Yeah, but there's a middle ground.
Yeah.
And he was way too much.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Save it!
Sorry.
You said sorry. With the T.
Sorry.
That's cute. I like it.
So, what do you think about her dress?
At the time, I liked it, and now I'm trying to remember, and it actually seems a little forgettable.
It was very floral. It was kind of forgettable. She looked it was very classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her bridesmaids' dresses look great. That Mom sewed.
I don't remember those.
They're pink.
I was caught up in the moment. I will say, it was just different because they were doing it under the only thing I didn't like about the wedding, I'm going to say this, and it's because people don't think about this in their weddings. Most people don't. The lighting wasn't very good.
No, that was true. I noticed that too.
Lighting is very important at a wedding.
And the weirdest thing is the production didn't even try to light it better.
No, they did not.
There was a scene when they were talking. I was like, holy fuck, this is
bad.
bad.
Just put a light on top of a camera and that was it.
Yeah.
I just want your wedding to have beautiful romantic lighting.
I need to say this though about this wedding. I think it will be a blip on 90 Day Fiancé weddings. It even though it was huge, it's like the first wedding of a trans person. Mm-hmm. It did not, and I think it can be different it doesn't have to be a spectacle, but there were just moments that it didn't get made into a moment for me.
I had it not in the wedding. I had it outside with the parents meeting, the parents talking.
Yeah.
That's where I said I was moved. Not actually at the ceremony.
Yeah.
I think a little bit too because this is what I hope for this, and it's rightly so. You can tell Gabe is not comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
He
goes by his.
A lot. But a lot of trans people are not comfortable.
No, I'm saying he goes by his. You said there.
Oh, okay. But that makes sense why Gabe would feel that way. But I think even in this wedding, I think he, at least seemed to me, he was not only thinking about Monica, but he was kind of in his head in front of all of these people. I think that was hard for him.
It's understandable, but
I think that's why we didn't feel like we had this moment, because I don't feel like he was fully... I think he was very happy at the wedding. Just didn't seem like he was fully present in the moment.
What it also felt like to me is that this was a second stage of his coming out instead of a marriage.
Well, it is, yeah.
And
which sucks, but it is.
I get that. And because he kept saying, this is so great because people are finally accepting me for who I am, and I can't believe I finally found someone. I understand how that is a part in that. I just wish we saw more of Isabel's thoughts on the same thing, because all of hers were like, oh, I don't care. I found a man who's so different, and we can be together.
Yeah.
I guess I thought there was a wide gulf between how the two of them were feeling that day.
It felt a little disconnected.
Yeah.
I agree.
I need to say that I did not mind the saxophone playing the wedding march. I
kind of liked it.
I had never heard that before.
I kind of liked it.
And
I never heard that
kind
either.
of okay with it.
Yeah. Maybe like do a little Lisa Simpson riff on that.
It was a tenor saxophone, so it's a little lower.
I don't think any of us really paid attention. For the audience that are confused, how many different saxophones are there?
There's several. There's
tenor sax.
There's a soprano sax, which is the least common, but that's what Kenny G would play sometimes. Yeah. Yes. There's the alto sax, which is pretty common.
Who plays alto sax? Anyone?
A
John
lot.
Tesh?
Charlie Parker.
Okay.
And then I think Charlie Parker played alto. And there's tenor sax. That's more the lower sound.
Sax we're used to is tenor sax.
Alto is probably what we're closest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like alto sax is that like.
But we're used to tenor too.
What kind of sax is?
That's alto.
Okay, so that's an alto.
Yeah.
And tenor was this.
No, I think you know what? I think this was an alto sax. Now that I think about
really?
it. Yeah, it was an alto sax. Now that I'm
I'm upset that you drew me into this conversation, and I'm interested. Who gives a shit?
When I write musicals, a lot of times I will write for a clarinet doubling with a saxophone. Usually, it's almost always a tenor, so I can get a lot of range. No one gives a shit.
You lost me. I was interested, and then you lost. One question: is there a baritone or bass sax?
There is. There's a bari sax. It's very low.
Oh wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that's your sax education. There you go.
You know what I thought was? Can we talk about that moment when Isabel said Monica wasn't there, and Monica, no, we've done it. Bitch. And he's basically, she's like, oh, I noticed that, and he's just not even saying anything. I think he's thinking that he doesn't want to upset her, but he hasn't realized yet that that's not the kind of person Isabel is.
Nope. Yep.
And he's going to have to go out of his comfort zone to make her happy.
Yeah. That's what I meant, but I feel like hopefully he grows with her and he'll be a better person and learn.
Let's hope so.
Because Gabe does not know how to put up boundaries. He just avoids. He's avoidant.
So, and finally she just went, she's like, I need to have that conversation with her, that it offended me, but it's not going to be today. And she's like, because right now, this is about her opinion of my relationship matters nothing to me, which I loved her saying. That, to me, that was the best part of this wedding. Yeah. When she came to that realization.
Isabel's a queen.
Yeah, because she really will. But Isabel and Debbie are those two standouts of this season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the parents said, God is big, and they made things happen.
It's so beautiful.
And God, that big old queen, said, yes, mama.
Yes. I think that Gabe does kind of in the segment say, I feel like I'm finally where I need to be.
They're going to have a long road ahead of them.
They have a long road ahead because I think Gabe's just, I wonder if Isabel thought this will quell Gabe's anxiety. But Gabe has a lot, again.
Environment doesn't matter.
And that's just not all, but a lot of people that are dealing with trans issues just have higher anxiety because they have to be because it's scary to be trans in this country right now. And in the world.
And I would agree that issues about being a trans person are at the root.
But it translates.
There are a lot of other issues.
No, there's other issues. Yeah, but it's like that is and then it just bleeds into other issues. You're right, though. They got a long road.
The whole family needs to. What would be, and this is probably not going to be possible for him. What he needs to do is put up a really firm boundary against that sister and probably not talk to her for a while.
Well, I think he did, meaning a boundary of the Gulf of Mexico. I think now it makes a little more sense why we understand why Gabe wanted to just get the fuck out of this country.
It wouldn't be really the Gulf of Mexico. It would be further down, the Caribbean.
Well, the Gulf in the Caribbean.
Though the Gulf is here.
You get
Mexico.
it. The water. Well, they're in Florida, and they go across in the Caribbean, and then they're in the Columbia. Yeah, whatever. A bunch of water.
I'm going to get you that Atlas.
Atlas. But don't you agree? Doesn't it make sense why he moved more now that we kind of see this family dynamic? He's like, peace out. I want to get away from this shit.
I don't think this family is going to. I think he's trying to run. I don't think they're going to listen. And I think this is going to be, it'll just be done through phone calls.
I predict that he'll end up just not having a relationship with his sister.
Let's hope so. That sounds awful, but
she just seems really cruel and self-involved.
Yeah.
Of course, she's going to blame it on the edit. Blame it on the edit.
Nicole and Miss Mood.
Miss Mood, if you're nasty. 5 months she's been in Egypt, y'all. 5 minutos. That's not months, that's minutes. But I don't know how to say months. Marzo? Meses. Hey, Siri, how do you say month in Spanish? What does it say?
Spanish month is
Maze.
Oh, M-E?
M-E-S.
Oh, maze.
Maze.
Not meses. That's
Again, no
Italian.
one cares. I don't know.
Maze.
Why I asked.
Yeah, okay.
But you were close.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So he's decided Miss Mood's going to put on her trench coat and come to America.
Yes.
And she's like, "Are you ready to move?" And he says, "I'm worried about finding jobs, friends, and a mosque." What do you think of this quick turn? Do you give a reason for it, or do you think it was in the edit that we just didn't see it earlier?
Well, he did say it 2 episodes ago. He said, "I'm willing." He had that turn of she's second.
1 episode ago, because they weren't on 1 week.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But I meant, what I meant 2 episodes back. He did say last episode, like, she has done a lot. And he says that, remember, he went and talked to his brother. So it made sense to me because he had said, she's done a lot for me. And if I need to make this work, I need to do this. So it didn't feel quick to me.
Well, I'm just saying the idea of him coming to the U.S. was never even really addressed.
Until
really late.
2 weeks, maybe 3. Maybe they
that's
addressed it before.
That's what I'm asking about. Because a lot of times that is the linchpin of an argument, and we just assumed he was never.
We assumed at first he didn't want to come, or
So it tells me, were the stakes artificially inflated here? I think they still have a shitty relationship. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, so.
Yeah, possibly.
So they're having like a little lunch or something, and they're talking about clothing once they get to the U.S. And Nicole's like, maybe you'll be a little less like a dictator. Maybe a short arm that comes
Like
to the
in the
elbow.
summer I'd wear something right here.
And it's almost like if you're trying to get someone to, she infuriates me with the way she does, and she has her face like this, and she says the shittiest things.
She literally is like putting a live mouse in front of a cat to see if the cat will pounce.
And that's why I'm still convinced. I think she did this to make him look foolish. And I'm going to have another further thing there, too. Ooh! She's the person who I absolutely loathe this season, because I feel like her motives were not true. I think her motives were both financial and to humiliate her husband, who she says she loves.
More than Danielle?
Ugh! Don't ask me to choose. Don't ask me to choose.
No, you said it. She's the person I loathe the most. If you're gonna have,
but you know what?
No, if you're gonna have an opinion, have the opinion.
It's fun to loathe Danielle. It's not fun to loathe Nicole. If that makes sense.
No, for you. We've talked about this. I enjoy seeing her stare in the distance and just kind of go into her safe space. It makes me laugh.
I think
because I think it makes me laugh because I don't feel sorry for her at all.
I think it's all practiced, and she knows the cameras. I think she's hyper aware.
Oh, for sure.
And so this idea, and Mahmoud says, well, I don't think I would get very mad if I saw your wife's muscles.
I don't
And
want
she's
someone
like-
seeing my wife's muscles.
And then she said, "Is there maybe you can address your own anger at that?" Which is, he's like, "I guess I could try."
And I wrote, it's not his own anger. So it's that is what's ridiculous is that, again, everything he believes because of his religion, she again still acts like that's his personal choice of values.
And what? And
Again,
what,
I say choice because, y'all, he doesn't have a choice of his values. Look where he is.
Yeah.
Look where his family, like this.
You can't, and for him,
don't have that
and there
choice.
are people, there are definitely people who practice, Muslims who practice Islam who are less conservative than this.
Who have more choice. But I'm just saying, in his family and his community,
The way he was raised.
there is not a choice in this.
Yes. And I think, and that's what we're going to talk about a tell-all later, and I'm going to get into it, but that's what no one really gets. Even
Especially Nicole.
I know. And we're going to talk about that moment where Nicole's talking to Gabe, and she's like, "Will you say that to him?" I went,
Save it. You just want to talk about the tell-all, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So then she said, and this is when I went, "Oh, I see you." And Nicole's like, Mahmoud says, "I hate when you leave on a plane." And Nicole's like, "Well, I hate when you leave and you have your little chats." And I went, "Oh, yeah, say that
I
again."
said, huh?
I said, "But how?"
Huh?
You know, when you're talking to girls in other countries, what?
What?
I wrote down,
Baking powder, please.
What? So, things like, and the way she said it, did you just watch her face? Chilling.
This is where, I saw both parts of it, but this is where it was she really wanted to put him on blast, and you can tell.
Chilling.
Yeah.
And she just went,
I think she showed her hand this episode.
I say she showed that the whole season.
But I mean, she really just, it was so deceptive.
I've said this since episode 3.
I don't remember that.
What?
You did? He did. You know what I wrote in my notes? Poodle was right. Is that what you want to hear?
Yes!
That's what I wrote.
No, you know what it is? It's not that. It's just that
But it was so obvious.
it was just like,
Sorry, someone Bob the Builder is in
someone
Poodle's
is
hallway.
slamming the door of a dungeon.
We would know what that sounds like.
So
It was
y'all,
so obvious.
She says, "You mean questions like?" And there was even a slight smile. If you I
She looked like Cersei Lannister.
and she went, "How old are you? What are you doing? Did you make it to your hotel last night?" And he's like, "You could tell." He's like, "Why don't you go through my phone?" And her face changes. And he's like, "Well, it was really about work." And then she was ready for that excuse. And she says, "Well, and her talking head, I looked at his phone in a fit of I knew I shouldn't have done it, but it was chats from a girl in China and she was trying to sell him TVs. But actually, he was just finding a little too much about her. So what she's doing is tamping down expectations, but sowing doubt." Mm-hmm. It was riveting. I went, "I knew that was who you were." I just screamed out, "I knew it!" when she did it. So
It was pretty. It's like to me, it almost felt like someone who can completely disassociate
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit sociopathic.
I'm telling you,
Because she went into that, and then she switches to, "I love you, I love you so much," and you go like,
and
it's just so. And he flip flops where he'll say, "I love you," and then he gets so angry. But his is more of his complete. Just he's a child.
yeah,
It's not that for her.
he is way outmatched here.
Oh,
And
she'll eat him alive.
This was the first pussy he's ever had.
Yeah.
And for someone like him, that's what he fell in love with. I assume there's just a little bob down there too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just lift the curtains.
Not a wig. Not a wig.
And then she's like, well, as long as you admit that you crossed the line and this is your one warning. So y'all, to quote Seinfeld, she's got hand now. She's got all the hand she ever needs.
I don't know what that means.
He's like upper hand. I got the hand. I've got hand. And then he breaks up with the woman and she's like, no, you can't break up with me. I have hand. And she goes, and you're gonna need it.
Oh, I do remember that. Isn't it Terry?
No, it's
not Terry Bibb, not Terry Cox.
It's a random woman who was the piano player.
Oh, I remember that line, and you're gonna need it. That's a good line.
So he says, I will try to change my mind about the way I feel about your clothes, but I don't know if I can change who I am. And she's like, okay, I can do that. And then
But you can't do that.
And then he's like, I'm so lucky to have you, honey bunny. And she's like, no, I'm the luckiest. No, I'm the luckiest. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. I'm the luckiest.
I will say,
I'm the luckiest.
I think they're both perfect for each other.
To destroy one another.
No, I don't. I honestly think both of them are not good people.
I agree with you. I think he's young and he probably could have been okay had he not met her.
Oh, this will ruin it.
He would have had a simple life with a simple girl.
I don't think he wanted that. I think he won't, but I think he has an ego too.
Okay. I could see it.
Maybe we don't see it as clear, but I think they both, they both have strong egos.
We'll be back in just a moment with Jen and Rishi.
If there's an Urban Dictionary that was an actual book, and you turned to a page and you said, "Show me someone who doesn't get it," that would be Rishi.
Urban Dictionary is usually something that's dirty, though.
It is? I thought it's just it's an Urban Dictionary is only dirty stuff. I thought it was
Hence,
like
urban, or not dirty, but just like doesn't get
like
it.
Popular, like, you know.
Doesn't get it is a phrase that most people know.
But I meant like, because this is a pop culture show.
Ooh, okay.
So Urban Dictionary is just dirty stuff?
No, it's more than that. But I think
what else would be in an Urban Dictionary?
Let me clarify. The phrase "doesn't get it" is pretty well understood.
Well, I meant because it's on 90 Day Fiancé, because of this show. But
no, I'm sorry, I can't allow that. That was dumb.
Wow.
I'll lead off next time.
Wow. You need to get fucked. But I mean, I know a lot of people are upset about Jen. We normally don't talk about. I haven't even. Apparently, there's a video she put out about his family.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
Well, she talked about his family saying things they want a light skinned, and I think a lot of people took issue with what we said that we were saying that it was okay that his family wanted that, and we were saying that is culturally something that a lot of Indian people do. And a lot of people think we were saying that it's good. I had two responses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not, I don't think what we meant at all. We just meant, I think there's a difference of the word normal versus good. That is normal I think that's very.
For a lot of Indian culture.
For a lot of Indian culture.
I think someone was upset that we didn't condemn it. And I was just like, okay, sure. I condemn colorism in Indian culture.
I mean,
I think that's pretty obvious by the way we've talked.
I kind of feel
Maybe
like
I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't feel like as a white American man, I have I don't know if I can. I don't know the culture well enough, you know. But I mean, yeah, we're not for colorism at all. But also, that's just they're just gonna have. Oh, my brother's calling me. It's his birthday. I'll call him later. They're just gonna. It's shitty. It's fucking shitty, and that's the way it is for a lot of people.
Yeah, I would love to know if there's sissy listeners who were American, who married Indian men who were living in India. How did you beat the Indian parents loophole?
Boy,
how did you?
We
beat
don't know
it?
one. I've never. We.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know if there's a way, because it seems like they're pretty enmeshed with their families, especially Indian men who live in India. And it seems this is the second situation we've had on 90 Day Fiancé. And it seems that it's too wide of a bridge to cross culturally. And Americans will never fully understand how ingrained this is. And we're only coming at it from our perspective.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I wouldn't want to. I thought we made that clear, but you never know. You say things, and we're not saying that colorism is good, y'all.
I got 3 different responses.
Wow, then we weren't clear, I guess.
Yeah.
So no, I'm glad that we are. Reality gaze is against. We will take a stance that we are not for colorism.
I think we were saying that. I think what we were trying to do is come at it from not condemning that, and I'm thinking it's just a part of sometimes culture, and that they said that we didn't say it was bad.
I guess Jen was getting some flack from that video too. Why was she getting flack for that?
Because she made another David Hasselhoff cheeseburger video. fucking, she'll never learn.
Randy put her up to it, I bet.
I guarantee you she'd had a couple Kim Crawfords before she did it.
Good for her. Good for her.
So I just want to say, I don't care what you think about Jen and Rishi. This storyline was fucking compelling.
Oh, it was great. Even this goodbye was great.
It was a roller coaster.
I loved it.
Me too.
I mean, I feel bad for them. You know what? It was just nice to see. Yes, Jen can have some problems, but I don't think Jen, unlike Nicole, I don't think Jen was out in this. Well, she'll probably prove me wrong in the tell-all. We haven't gotten a lot of her in the tell-all yet, but is not in this to be famous and be
absolutely
on TV.
not.
I really feel like Jen and Rishi both really loved one another and really had their hearts in the right place.
She went into the show authentically, definitely.
I think so too.
More than almost anybody on the show, I think.
Yeah, except for Debbie.
It's true.
Who
she
must be protected
at all costs.
All costs.
So, Rishi's going to the temple the day after the breakup, and he's like, I don't accept it. And this is the thing. He doesn't accept it because the love he has for her is still there. So there's the disjunction. So of course he doesn't accept it. He doesn't accept the idea that she's not really breaking up with him for a reason. He technically didn't do anything to wrong her horribly. What she's doing is cutting her losses. She's being efficient about that. And it's such a different value system than he can have. So he can't understand it. So when you say he doesn't get it, of course he doesn't.
Yeah.
It is not, he can't even put himself in the same place.
It's almost like he's in this still romanticized way about this, and Jen is not looking at this way at all.
Because she's older. And she knows that it's not enough. He still thinks that...
I think she's had her heart broken a few more times, too.
Oh, I guarantee you, this is like time number 6.
Well, how many has Randy bitched about?
Y'all, finally Nitesh, the astrologer, comes in and tells him about all this. And he's like, even Nitesh went, whew. He said that in Hindi? She said that in Hindi and your auntie heard it? Fuck. Even he had a visceral response.
God
which
damn.
Is why, you remember Rishi clawing the skin off his face.
Yeah.
In that picture.
Do you think Nitesh is a good astrologer?
I don't know.
What kind of astrologer says, yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but the stars said it wasn't going to work out?
Because I'm your friend, too.
I feel like...
I think the moral of this story is... hire an astrologer who's not also your friend.
That part. Right there.
I will also say that
Channy is not my
a
friend. She
friend-
reads me for filth.
a friend would level with you. At the same time, though, I don't know if it was a good friend of his, I don't know if I'd have the heart to say, this is never going to work out for you. You have to be super brave to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if there's like an astrologer ethical code. Do they like take a
I
code
don't think
before?
there's anything written down.
It's written in the stars. Is
Yes.
that coming back? The show on Bravo?
It was on Amazon.
Amazon.
That was a terrible show.
I wanted it to be so much better. I still follow the Queer Cosmos guy, and he's
I do
so
too.
funny.
I think she thought that was going to be her big break.
She did. He's got a big dick, right?
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
not huge, but it's nice. So
Something else is written in my ass.
I don't understand that. So Rishi says, you know what? I don't care. I believe in love more than astrology, and I'll fight for us. And I'm thinking, none of this matters.
Even when he said that at the end, and I went, how? How will you actually fight for us?
Well,
Because it's not Jen you need to do the fighting with.
well, the thing is, these are two people who had two things against them. Culture and age. And you're just saying and age was the lesser of the two in an interesting way. Mm-hmm. But those are two big matzo balls that are hanging out there.
That's true.
But I think I don't understand how optimistic he is. But I will say this. I guess maybe he's so in love that it makes him crazy. And so I don't know if I can fault that. That's the thing. I want to be super realistic with him.
That is it's when you talk about fault. You know, a lot of these relationships, there's fault to be had and to give. I don't know if either of them were at fault per se. Yes, there was. He lied to her. He withheld
And Jen
information.
could have Googled.
And when I look at this and kind of take an wait and step back, I feel like they both did the best they knew how to do in the situation. It was not great.
It's why this is compelling, because there's no loophole.
A part of me still wishes, I know it won't ever happen, but there's that part of you when they said goodbye, you just wish it could be easier for them.
Yeah, and he's never going to leave his family.
God, he's a pretty crier.
Jen.
He's never going to leave.
Jen's never going to accept any less now. Now that she's blurted out,
Which is good.
yeah, because that was how she was able to do that. Jen was accepting less. She kept devaluing herself and accepting less.
Yes.
And then finally, because he would have kept her going. I think he would have kept her going like a couple years.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would have been y'all. We've seen how long Submit drove Jenny out.
And you know what? Side pieces succeed.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
They're
going to
be on it happily ever after next season, y'all, with the same problems they've had for the first 5 seasons of Happily Ever After.
I think Jen got the good part of the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say one last thing, because Jen is meeting him because she's leaving. And
Jenny clucked so Kris could cross the road.
Jen.
Oh, yeah, so Jen could cross the road.
So almost.
Almost.
So she says, Rishi's in her gift for understatement. Rishi's not taking the breakup well. You mean he's basically not eating?
Yeah.
And then she's like, right now I'm in survival mode. And Jen says, where do you feel like we stand? And Rishi says, it's hard to accept. And this is what I'm saying. There was nothing really done to end things, except for her saying, we're broken up. And there was no reason that she could even give him.
Yeah.
And And
in that it just is. It has to be that
Yeah.
way.
his eyes, y'all, his eyes are red from having even crying.
Yeah, he looked rough.
And then she says, I need you to let me go.
It was really beautiful. Like, I was emotional watching
I'm
it.
emotional talking about it. And Rishi says, if you want this, I'm about to cry now. If you want this, I can do this for you. You have a beautiful heart, and that's why I fell in love with you. I have a lump in my throat.
Who would star in this Hollywood movie?
Well, I already said this is the shitty Hallmark version of The English Patient,
Well.
which we had to explain. This would be, let's see. This would be, it needs to be a younger Naveen Andrews. And maybe, what's his name? Who was on The Big Bang Theory, although I don't know if he could pull it off.
No.
But
The guy on Heroes, I forget, he's too young. What was his name?
that's Naveen Andrews.
Oh, that's Naveen Andrews?
And I said he's too
he's
old
too old.
now.
Yeah.
Yes,
'Cause
that
he's
is
probably-
Naveen Andrews.
God, he was hot. That's Naveen Andrews?
I feel like we just
Boy.
go round and round. When I say someone, you're like, but what about this person?
I didn't know that was his name. I
Yeah.
just knew him for the guy from Hero. Current references only, Heroes.
You could have said, who's that? Instead of just letting me say it.
I just thought it was somebody I didn't know. Turns out I did.
And maybe, who would play Jen? Diane Lane?
Although she's older now, too. She might be...
Not Diane Lane. That's an older actress.
I think like somebody
Diane.
around... Not Laura Dern, but somebody around Laura Dern's age.
Laura Dern's in her 60s, sweetie.
How old's Jen?
You know what? Laura Dern's probably in her 50s. Jen's 46.
Sissies, come at us. Who should play them in a movie? Because it was that dramatic. That's why I talk about it from a movie Oh, no. Now you're thinking of it. Who are you going to say?
Diane Lane, but a little bit younger.
She's only 58?
She looks good.
She looks good.
But a couple years ago.
Yes, and when
Yeah.
she's in her 40, yeah. Come at us, sissies. Because this was a movie I would watch. Just insert soaring music.
Anyway, Jen says, and then Jen says, I don't regret the relationship. I think both of them, Rishi not as much, but even though she's done ridiculous things, she's got a sense of realism about her.
It takes time for it to kick in.
Yeah.
But
And Rishi says, I feel empty, but I'm going to fight for love.
fight for love. She's got that Stillwell practicality.
I don't
Probably
think that's
gets
a
it
thing.
from her brethren over in Greasy.
Kris and Jeymi.
Kris,
Boy,
Jeymi.
could this have ended worse?
Honestly, for female drama, yes, it could have gotten.
A fist fight and a
If it
beer
was at a
bottle
bar,
upside
yeah,
the
there
head.
you go. That's literally what I was about to say because I've seen it happen. I know you have to, but woo, y'all. Jeymi got a gift.
I agree.
Jeymi got out. So she thinks that she got out so horribly bad. She's gonna walk away from this in years from now, going, "God, I dodged a huge bullet."
I hope they've gotten a divorce by now.
I hope so.
So, y'all, Kris walks off, and Jeymi basically says she mentioned the fact that I raised my voice as the reason why she just left, but there would have been another reason for her to leave.
True.
And finally, she sees through it.
Yeah.
This kind of behavior, and Kris is like, my son got arrested, and that's why. And
For
then,
drugs, she said.
And then Tom's car rolled over 3 times, and then his son was sick. It goes right into that. And then he had to have eye surgery. I can still laugh at Ronnie doing that monologue. So
Just
there's
stupid.
always another excuse for Kris.
always.
Yeah. And it's been, and again, it's been rumored the whole time there was opioid addiction or something the whole time, and her behavior completely was pretty much a classic example of that.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be addressed in the tell-all. I don't know how it would be.
No,
but
we read off her aliases last week.
Remember that?
Some sissies said they looked up, and some of them were dealing with substance things. So it's just I bring that up. I wanted people to make sure that I'm not when I bring that up because, and I don't want to point it out like to say that's why if she's a loser, she can't get her shit together.
Well, we're trying to come up with an explanation.
We're trying to come up because none of it, everything she says doesn't make sense.
Right.
And so
addicts' behaviors don't make sense.
And I think we do that because if y'all think we're trying to make sense of this, Jeymi is
lost.
spinning all the time trying to think about, we don't love Kris. So my heart goes out to Jeymi, who I think is a drama queen, but in the same way, she's so confused. Again, as she said, she was supposed to be gone for 2 weeks, and she was gone for 5 months.
Later on, they walk back, and Jeymi says, "Are you ready to listen to me?" And Kris is like, "No, you were the one who talked over me," and blah, blah, blah. And then Kris goes on and on about the rent again. About
how much was the rent supposed to be? She's like, $400. She said, and it was $550. And she's basically telling her, she never got over that. She's still upset about that.
If they're nickel and diming that, if that's what they're talking about rent, if it's $150 difference, and with all the flights and all the building of the apartment and supporting Jeymi, and then the idea we heard that she's not even paying rent anymore, that Jeymi says. There were so many things that aren't being addressed. I think Kris is going to get hell on this tell-all.
Sean Robinson better come for her.
Yeah.
Because we better get her pinned to the wall and ask her, did you tell Jeymi to quit her job? She's never answered that question.
Yeah. Well, I think Kris is going to bring up, we already see her on the preview, Kris is bringing up people who Jeymi talked to, other women. So it's misdirection, sadly.
I think that probably did happen because Jeymi
can't be alone.
She can't be alone. It reminds me a bit of like, y'all, it was a good episode of Classless last week that we watched with Fernanda. Or no, will it air? We did the watch along. It'll air this week or next week?
It's airing this week.
Well,
this past week. Watch along. Which week?
The one where Fernanda.
Oh, it'll air next week.
Next, where Fernanda basically and Jonathan, and she was like, "How could you leave me? I can't." It was so dramatic. It was dark.
Yeah. Actually, it'll probably air in 2 weeks. Sorry.
Y'all, we're trying our best.
We program stuff so.
We need a little intern named Susie, and every time we need to know, we say, "Susie, what day?" And she comes in with her calendar and just tells us what.
Can it be a hot guy who has a name like Mark, but we just call him Susie?
No, it's going to be a Susie, so that way she'll stick around and we don't get sued.
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Dance for me, Straighty.
Wow.
Dance while I throw cans of beans at your feet.
Gross. Gross.
Anyway, y'all, this ends with...
I have a question because I was confused. What did Jeymi say that Kris just went, "I'm done with the bullshit," and got up again? What was said?
I don't know. It was that she was a liar. Her promises were empty, blah, blah,
so
blah.
So the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
The truth.
And then she says, "Find someone else to pay your fucking bills." She leaves. And y'all, then there's pushing. There's physical violence, which
on Kris, is it?
Yeah.
Jeymi tries to get in the van and Kris pushes her out of the van.
Which I assume is always looming for them.
Yeah.
Physical violence partner physical violence is very common in lesbian relationships, especially
and
with
in substance
abuse.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lesbians have a higher rate of alcoholism.
Yep.
The gay men do the meth. Don't worry. They've got their problems too.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, when you're on meth, you don't fight a lot. You just get fucked by
You just want to fuck a
20
lot.
guys, and you can't feel it. Great.
The fighting happens later. The fighting happens cruelly with
Please.
erasing someone's copy of Desperate Housewives.
Current references only.
or washing their linen coat. Anyway, that's the show. It said dry clean only. Oops, did I do that? I'm the only one who does the laundry. If I didn't do it, it wouldn't get done. Maybe I've had a few of those. Sorry I used all your skin cream.
Stop it.
It was $200 a 10.
Stop it. Just get to the show.
Y'all,
Oh, that was like
follow
a
us on
cova.
follow us on Instagram at Reality Gaze Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Reality Gaze Pod. Follow us on the TikTok at Reality Gaze.
You threw in a red towel just to be a bitch, did you?
I did. A new one. A new red towel. And it's not going to be good pink that all your clothes are. It's striped, splotchy.
I'm too tired. This is making me punch drunk.
Y'all, we call these people... Go ahead.
We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love? And I just snorted love in all the wrong places.
Yeah. And if you want to really get even, you'll erase all their DVR recordings. And especially the shows that are coming up without them knowing. And call us.
You're evil.